best. And I truly mean that. My colleagues, I haven't seen a duo captivate TV audiences like this since the mid-'60s when Batman and Robin came out. Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, how are you guys doing?
I didn't know where you were going. I thought maybe Laverne and Shirley. I wasn't sure. So we're doing really well, Nate, and we're having a ball. And we feel so fortunate to have this matchup landing in our lap on our watch. Sunday can't get here fast enough.
Well, I'll tell you, Laverne and Shirley reminds me that Jim has dated himself right there. I'll be honest.
Batman and Robin, he said 60s with Batman and Robin, so at least I took it to the 70s.
Tony, out of the two things that these guys possess, and they're very talented, we know that, you've done these things throughout your career. I've played against you. But if you could pick one, Brady's expertise or Mahomes' improvisational skills?
I don't think you can pick one, if I'm being honest. The only reason this is a discussion about Patrick Mahomes possibly catching Tom Brady one day and being in the discussion, because it's way too early. We would never do this with anybody else. But Magic and Bird could see that Jordan at a very young age was like, yeah, he's going to be in a discussion here in a decade. Even though he hadn't won championships yet or whatever. Well, Mahomes has already gone to the AFC title game. He's gone to the Super Bowl and won. And now he's back again. And they're now playing.
Yep.
And it's just the rarest game that I think we'll come across in sports. And I think it's a gift that we all get to watch it. I mean, the winners of this, it's not Patrick and Tom as much as I think it's a great gift for them to play each other. It's all of us watching.
It's so true. It really is. Like Christmas came twice in a matter of a couple of months. Jim, I've always believed that life is a collection of moments. So as we're looking at these football games, the same thing applies. When it comes to watching Brady, which you have seen a ton of Brady games, what moment stands out to you?
I think that game that matched Tom against Mahomes 2 years ago in the AFC Championship game was maybe the finest one of all. And I can only hope that we have a matchup like that, a game like that on Sunday. The way Tom took them down the field at the end of regulation and then took them down the field with the first possession in overtime, I think that was maybe as good as it gets. But I will say this, on a bigger view, if you try to define what is Tom Brady's finest moment, what is the crowning achievement, I think if he wins on Sunday, this is the crowning achievement. At 43, to take a team, put it on his back, not have OTAs, not have a preseason, basically get together primarily with a group of strangers, come back from 7-5 and win the Super Bowl. I would think that this is the topper of them all.
I'm with you 100% on that, Jim. Now, speaking of Mahomes, Tony, I have to ask you, because, Jim, I remember that game. And I remember Tom Brady winning and beating Patrick Mahomes in overtime. And I left scratching my head thinking, the only thing to beat Patrick Mahomes today was the coin flip. So this is going to be one hell of a player. Tony, what would you say is one of Patrick Mahomes' best moments or something that you have witnessed?
Like you said, the coin flip and the title game, that was really the difference, because if Patrick Mahomes got that ball, he would have won that game. I believe that. But Tom got it. And so we think of it differently in some ways. But I am just convinced these two are so special. They're going to both put their team back in the game regardless of who starts, faster. And if this game comes down to a quarterback with the ball, I'm going to trust the quarterback.
We're all excited for a bunch of reasons. So, Jim, I'll start with you. What are you excited about in this game, just in general?
I think this game comes at a great time for this country. The vaccine's been rolled out now for a little bit more than a month. I believe that there's hope and there's relief on the way. And I think the Super Bowl is the greatest, if you will, uniting event we have in this country. It's not about politics here. It's about something we all share a love of, football. It's the greatest spectacle we have. And I think it's going to be, again, this symbol that hope is around the corner and better days are on the way soon. This game's going to be a great game. This day's going to be spectacular. And we're all going to walk away with a good feeling. It's been a long time since we as Americans have felt good about things.
Holmes' youngest son. I mean, Irv, you can't make it up. You know that Andy Reid could have a shot to be a back-to-back head coach in Super Bowl history, winning it. It's really off the charts. What do you think the Chiefs' biggest challenge is going to be to repeat on Sunday?
There was so much in those interviews and just in those little sound bites, Rich, and you cannot make it up. What an incredible story. You know, after Andy Reid goes back to back, getting back to back, now got a chance to go back and back to back. But you heard that in there. You heard Travis Kelce talk about watching and the horrifying thought of losing a Super Bowl. What I think one of the biggest challenges will be, because these guys understand history, they understand the moments, is matching the intensity. Even though we just heard them talk about what it means for them to make sure they win back-to-back and not taste that losing, to match the intensity of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing where never a man has played before, as I spoke about before, on his own home ground, ultimately with a chance to win the Super Bowl crown. It's going to be an incredible hype week. They already know this, Rich. That's why I believe Andy Reid saying, we're not coming into Saturday. We don't want to be around a whole week of you guys talking about how great Tom Brady is and my team gets drowned and get caught up in it. They just have to play their game.
And they're going to be, as you mentioned, not coming until the weekend, just part of the pandemic Super Bowl. As you could see, normally on a night like tonight, rather than us being on two boxes, me here in Los Angeles, you being at home, we'd be in a convention center somewhere watching these players get interviewed on podiums as opposed to Zooms earlier in the day. But it is, as they say, what it is. And later on, your chats with the head coaches. Kay Adams will join us as well with both quarterbacks in Mahomes and Brady. And we're on the subject of what players are becoming and what we're seeing Patrick Mahomes become, what we have seen Tyrann Mathieu become, what he has turned into, a leader and a man, not only in his community but also in his locker room, to be counted on. He's been honoring victims of social injustice all season long. And in this installment of Say Their Stories, Mathieu tells us right now about the name on his helmet, name of a 37-year-old from his home state of Louisiana, Alton Sterling.
Fun-loving man, father of 5, made everybody laugh. I think that was one of his gifts of selling CDs, using his personality, his gift.
Is on the air. I am your humble host, Rich Eisen. Pleased to be right here on NFL Network to kick off coverage of the 19th Super Bowl NFL Network has been around for. We appreciate you spending the next 2 hours with us, and I will just say this to start the week. We hope you enjoy the weekend's music, because you're going to be hearing it a lot over the next 7 days. Let's get things started. I don't know if you're aware, but Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes are in this game. Andy Reid and Bruce Arians are your coaches. Travis Kelce and Gronk wear 87. Their tight ends both heading to the Hall of Fame. And you've got Tyrann Mathieu and Mike Evans, just 8 of the famous faces you're going to be seeing over the next 2 hours interviewed on this unique day here in a pandemic for the Super Bowl. And everything is going to be fantastic all week long. Looking forward to the Super Bowl at the largest age differential between quarterback starters, 18 years. And you could see Brady's 10th Super Bowl, don't you know? Mahomes' first quarterback to start in back-to-back Super Bowls at his ripe young age. And then Brady versus Mahomes. We've never seen the all-time passing yards leader against the most passing yards per game leader in NFL history ever in a Super Bowl.
I really admire Patrick for the kind of player he is. He has great command of his team. I know his teammates love playing with him. He's got great charisma. And I think when I see Patrick, I see someone who, again, was, none of these moments are too big for him. And the times that I've had a chance to talk to him off the field, certainly enjoyed it. And he's a great player. I know it's still early in his career, but, what he accomplishes ultimately is going to be up to him. He's got great opportunities, got a great skill set.
And the way he's able to dissect defenses before the snap is something that I truly admire, that I'm trying to get to that level. The way he's able to move within the pocket and to be able to reset his feet and be completely calm and still make the throw right on the money, no matter who's around him, is something that I have to continue to work on. And as I continue in my career, I'm just going to try to do whatever I can to watch the tape on him, because he's doing it the right way. And you can tell by how many Super Bowl championships he has and the rings that are on his fingers.
Kay Adams, who interviewed both of them, is going to be joining us later on in this 2-hour program. But joining me right now is my Hall of Fame friend and NFL Game Day morning compadre. We're going to be spending 8.5 hours together on Super Sunday leading up to kickoff of this game. Michael Irvin. It is just, I mean, we're lucky. We're lucky. We're lucky to be alive in this time, in this day and age, with these two quarterbacks and their careers where they are playing against each other. We're going to be talking about this matchup for years to come, Michael.
Yeah, Rich, and we're going to talk. We'll talk a whole lot about it in the next week. But Rich, you opened it up and you said it right. For years to come, and that's what makes this game so incredible. Because look at how we talk about it.
Is on the air. I am your humble host, Rich Eisen, pleased to be right here on NFL Network to kick off coverage of the 19th Super Bowl NFL Network has been around for. We appreciate you spending the next 2 hours with us, and I will just say this to start the week. We hope you enjoy the weekend's music, because you're going to be hearing it a lot over the next 7 days. Let's get things started. I don't know if you're aware, but Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes are in this game. Andy Reid and Bruce Arians are your coaches. Travis Kelce and Gronk wear 87. Their tight ends both heading to the Hall of Fame. And you've got Tyrann Mathieu and Mike Evans, just 8 of the famous faces you're going to be seeing over the next 2 hours interviewed on this unique day here in a pandemic for the Super Bowl. And everything is going to be fantastic all week long. Looking forward to the Super Bowl at the largest age differential between quarterback starters, 18 years. And you could see Brady's 10th Super Bowl, don't you know? Mahomes' first quarterback to start in back-to-back Super Bowls at his ripe young age. And then Brady versus Mahomes. We've never seen the all-time passing yards leader against the most passing yards per game leader in NFL history ever in a